You may find it hard to believe, but there are humble, everyday vegetables, perhaps resting quietly in your kitchen right now, that hold the power to protect and even help restore aging eyes while you sleep. It may sound too simple, yet simplicity often hides the most profound truths. For over 3 decades, I have walked alongside older men and women, listening to their joys and their struggles. Among them, there is one silent loss that pierces me more than any other: the gradual fading of sight. It begins quietly. One day, you hesitate to drive at night. Another day, a familiar face across the room seems unfamiliar. The warmth of a grandchild's smile blurs at the edges. A menu, a letter, even your own handwriting becomes something you must strain to see. You might feel a quiet shame in asking someone to read aloud for you, or perhaps you avoid stepping outside after dark because the world has become a soft, uncertain haze, like a cherished memory slipping from your grasp. The cruel truth is that this change often happens so slowly, it escapes notice until it has already stolen part of your freedom. But hear this clearly, it is not your fault. Your eyes age as the rest of your body does. Yet aging does not mean surrender. There are still ways to nourish, to protect, and to give your eyes the quiet strength they need for the days ahead. Today, I invite you to notice something that has always been close to you, resting quietly on your plate, waiting without expectation. When treated with patience and cooked with care, it becomes more than food. It becomes a gentle stream of nourishment flowing to your eyes, working in silence as you rest in the stillness of night. We will walk together through 4 humble vegetables. The first is like an old companion, familiar yet often underestimated. The last is the quiet one, rarely celebrated, yet holding a strength that may surprise you. I am but a guide on this path, offering what the years and the science have shown me. My wish is simple, that each step you take toward caring for your body is taken with kindness. Let us begin with the first guardian of sight, whose true gift is revealed only when prepared with intention. You have likely heard it said, carrots are good for your eyes. Some dismiss this as a simple folk belief, a phrase passed down without weight. Yet truth, like water, often hides beneath the surface. And in this case, the truth is not only rooted in tradition, it is supported by science, especially for eyes that now find the night less friendly and the glare of headlights more piercing. Carrots carry within them a pigment, beta-carotene, the very source of their deep orange glow. But color alone is not the gift. The real gift is what your body does with it. Once it enters you, the beta-carotene is quietly transformed by the liver into vitamin A. This vitamin plays a direct role in forming a protein called rhodopsin, a small but essential presence within the rods of your retina, those cells that allow you to see when light is scarce. When vitamin A runs low, these light-sensitive cells cannot fully renew themselves. Darkness becomes thicker, glare becomes sharper, and a quiet hesitation begins to settle in. Hesitation to drive at dusk, to walk in the evening, to trust your steps. Here lies a detail that often surprises even those careful with their health. Raw carrots, though full of potential, cannot offer you their deepest benefit. Beta-carotene is a fat-soluble nutrient. It waits for the presence of healthy fat to be fully welcomed into your system, and it yields more willingly when the carrot is gently cooked. Imagine a treasure locked within a safe. Cooking is the key that turns, softening the plant fibers, loosening the walls that hold the pigment inside. When you drizzle olive oil, melt a touch of butter, or add a spoon of ghee, you create the perfect vessel for this nutrient to travel where it is needed most. And when the day draws to its close, there is a particular wisdom in eating such a meal at dinner. For in the hours of rest, when your eyes are no longer flooded with light, your body turns inward, repairing, rebuilding. It is then that vitamin A moves quietly into action, helping your vision prepare for another day. There was once a man named Robert, 72 years old, a grandfather who had spent much of his life walking familiar streets as a postal worker. One day he told me, I can't see the house numbers anymore. When night falls, I feel lost in my own neighborhood. We did not reach for a pill or a machine. Instead, I asked him to do something small. 3 evenings each week, roast carrots with olive oil, a pinch of sea salt, nothing more. 6 weeks later, Robert returned. His face carried a smile I had not seen before. I drove to my son's home last night, he said, and I didn't squint once. I could read the street signs as if someone had cleaned the glass inside my head. This is the quiet power of nourishment. No rush, no side effects, just the slow weaving of food into function, the turning of ordinary choices into the restoration of confidence. A carrot may seem humble, yet when you approach it with awareness, you see that it is not simply a vegetable. It is a reminder that even the simplest things, prepared with care, can return clarity to your days and ease to your nights. In this way, a single bite becomes more than sustenance. It becomes an act of reclaiming sight and with it, a part of your freedom. While carrots help you pierce the shadows and see more clearly in the dark, there is another vegetable that works in a quieter, deeper way, by calming the hidden fires that slowly erode your vision from within. We often think of inflammation only when joints ache or skin swells, but inside the eyes, inflammation moves unseen. It weaves through tiny blood vessels, weakening their walls. It wears down the delicate cells of the retina, and over years it quietly steals the clarity you once took for granted. Broccoli stands among the few vegetables that hold both antioxidant and anti-inflammatory powers. In its dark green florets live lutein and zeaxanthin, pigments your body sends straight to the macula, the small yet vital center of your retina. The macula is your internal lens, the place that allows you to read words on a page, see the lines in a loved one's face, and notice the fine details of the world. Like a lens in a camera, the macula can become clouded, damaged by the constant light of life, the stresses of the body, and the restless work of free radicals. This is how macular degeneration often begins. First a blur in the center of your sight, then lines bending into waves, sometimes black spots forming where vision used to be. But here is the hope. Lutein and zeaxanthin from broccoli can slow this decline. In some cases, they can even support the repair of weakened tissue. Yet their gift is not unlocked unless the body can absorb them fully. Raw broccoli holds these nutrients tightly within its fibers. A gentle steaming, just enough to soften without dulling the green, breaks open those fibers, releasing what your body needs. And when you add a touch of healthy fat, a drizzle of olive oil, a scattering of shredded cheese, you create the means for these fat-soluble nutrients to enter your bloodstream and reach their destination. For those in the later chapters of life, every small improvement matters. Sometimes the difference is not the return of perfect sight, but the easing of strain, the softening of frustration. I once walked this path with a woman named Eleanor. She told me, "I used to lose myself in books, but now the words float and scatter. Even reading the mail feels like work." We made one change, half a cup of steamed broccoli with dinner, 3 or 4 evenings a week. A month later, she told me she still wasn't reading novels again, but she could open a letter without squinting. She could read her granddaughter's handwriting without holding it to the light. That small shift brought back a part of her joy. This is how healing begins, not in sudden leaps, but in steady, gentle steps. Broccoli does not shout for attention, yet in its quiet way, it stands guard over your vision, protecting it from within, offering you the chance to hold on to what matters most for as long as possible. From the firm stalks of broccoli, our path now turns to a leaf, dark, dense, and unassuming. At first glance, kale may not call out to you. Its surface is rough, its taste bold. Yet within this humble leaf lies perhaps the most concentrated store of vision-preserving power nature offers, a quiet guardian against the slow, irreversible fade of sight. Among the many vegetables that serve the eyes, kale rests at the summit. It is especially important for those facing the shadow of age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. This condition is not just about blurred vision. It is the gradual breakdown of the macula, the very heart of the retina, the place where clarity is born. When the macula weakens, it is not only your sight that changes, it is your life. Reading can feel like labor. The contours of a loved one's face soften into uncertainty. Even the simple act of pouring a glass of water can become guesswork. Kale offers protection in the form of lutein and zeaxanthin, the very same pigments your macula depends upon. Think of them as inner sunglasses, shielding the retina from harmful blue light and the constant pressure of oxidative stress. Your body cannot create these pigments on its own. They must come from the food you choose, and kale carries them in abundance. Yet, there is a key to unlocking their gift. Raw kale, while nutrient-rich, holds compounds that can hinder mineral absorption and strain digestion if eaten too often. By steaming or sautéing it lightly, you soften the fibers and free the nutrients within. This gentle cooking also preserves vitamin C and vitamin K, both vital for maintaining the flow of blood to the eyes and for strengthening the fine network of capillaries that nourish the retina. I once walked this path with a woman named Margaret, a retired librarian of 79 years. She had already lost part of her central vision in one eye. Her great